While the White House recommends we wear face masks in public, some states around the country have started making that mandatory.
I signed an executive order which will require the wearing of masks or face coverings when inside any retail establishments.
Many are left wondering, which mask offers the best protection? Now, when we talk about face coverings, there are the surgical masks I wear in the hospital to protect patients from my own germs and avoid any splashes. And then there are the N95 respirator masks that must be fit tested in order to protect healthcare workers during certain procedures. It's the only one of these masks that prevents most very small particles from getting in when used properly. We need to keep those masks in their hands. Then there are the disposable cloth masks which you can buy in a store and online. They aren't made for surgery or for hospitals, but are also widely used. The CDC has recommended that we all wear cloth face masks like this one. My daughter made this one. When we go out in public and we can't physically distance from each other. And keep in mind, the reason is not so much to protect ourselves, but to protect others from us. It should come as no surprise that these medical grade masks are more effective, but that doesn't mean we should dismiss the benefit of cloth masks. Let me show you. Take a look at this experiment done by researchers at the National Institutes of Health. They use lasers to help show how far spit droplets travel through the air when we talk. Watch how far those green dots go when he speaks. Without the lasers, these droplets might be invisible to the naked eye. But now, with the cloth, we barely see anything.
Exhalations come out in the form of a gas cloud, and the wearing of masks, therefore, could be, even if they're not high grade, a way to contain the range of that cloud.
Lydia Bariba is a professor at MIT who studies the physics behind how diseases spread through coughing, sneezing, and breathing.
Sneezes, which had the highest momentum, can then help these drops reach distances of up to 8 meters to 26 feet. Coughs are second in line in terms of their momentum, and that they can basically bring drops up to 16 to 19 feet, and then exhalations are third in line and bring drops further to the source, around 6 or 7 feet.
You can see now why wearing a mask, in addition to physical distancing, is so important. Your germs can travel far.
We also want to make sure that that mask is also clean, right? So that it doesn't also become a source of secondary contamination.
And you don't have to be a whiz with the sewing machine, like my daughter. An old t-shirt or a bandana will do. Ultimately, it's about having some form of barrier with multiple layers. You know, Aaron, I think culturally we're just not used to wearing masks in the United States. But like so many other things recently, we are starting to adapt. I do want to point out that the CDC does not recommend face coverings for children under 2, for anyone who has trouble breathing, or for people who can't remove the cover without assistance. And when you take off your mask, you got to be careful not to touch your eyes or your face or anything outside of the mask. Keep it as clean as possible. Also, Aaron, I can't say this point enough. This is not supposed to be a substitute for physical distancing. So when you can, you should stay home and stay safe. Aaron?
All right, Sanjay, thank you very much. And Sanjay's going to be back in just a few minutes, actually. CNN's Global. Yes, does it, when the president says you could wear a scarf or something, I mean, pretty much anything is good?
Well, I think anything is better than nothing. There have been a lot of studies where people have actually taken all kinds of face coverings into the lab to study this. One of the big differences between sort of a homemade cloth mask and a surgical mask is the surgical mask fits better. And because it fits better, it's a little bit better. It's significantly better at blocking some of the efflux of droplets coming out of your mouth. But what I'm troubled by is if we had enough surgical masks, we would recommend that everyone wear surgical masks. So what happened when the CDC recommended that people wear cloth masks wasn't because the public is better served by wearing cloth masks. It's that we didn't have surgical masks for 329 million people and all of the healthcare providers in this country. So it was kind of a compromise for adding some protection for when we go out without cannibalizing the supplies we need in the hospital.
So what I've noticed, and I'm sure many people have noticed, is that people are wearing their masks, when they are within 6 feet, right? When they're not, they don't need to, but when they are within 6 feet, they're wearing them. But one thing it seems to be inadvertently possibly encouraging is a lack of social distance. That people seem to believe because they have one on that there's a sense of security in, let's just say, getting on an elevator with somebody or having a conversation with somebody, and that's the great risk, is it not?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just one element of protecting ourselves when we need to go out in public. But you really want to maintain social distancing. You need to wash your hands over and over and over again during the day. Keep your distance from people. Put your arm up over your face if you have to cough or sneeze, because particles will come through whatever you're wearing. So all of the common sense practices to prevent spread of respiratory pathogens we need to continue to do. Eventually, everyone will wear more effective masks. We're going to have to wear masks for a long time. And as our industry comes up to speed, we'll have better masks to wear.
All right, Dr. Reiner, thank you.